Today, we have as our honored guest, Professor Samdong Rinpoche, who was our former speaker and Kalan Chiba. Also on the dais is Kundaling Rinpoche, one of the most revered Tibetan Rinpoche Lama. We also have Kailash Satyarthi, who is a Nobel laureate, who is coming here to Dharamsala for the third time with his family. And we also have honorable members of parliament from Philippines, Member of Parliament, Congressman Adrian Michael Amatong, and Congressman Rufus B. Rodriguez and their family. And today on this occasion of the 86th enthronement ceremony of His Holiness, we have two titles in which His Holiness has made great contributions, one on interreligious harmony and another one on environment. So today we have Shri Ajay Kumar Sharma ji representing the Hindu community, Muhammad Kamil Jamiji representing the Muslim community, Reverend Victor Ngoji, Christian community, Sarabjit Singh ji representing the Sikh community as part of the interreligious harmony promotion program here in Dharamsala. And we also have Dr. Marimuthu Yoganathan, Dr. Mohan Chandra Kandapal, Dr. Rajan Kotru, Dr. Kimaya Mohan, Dr. Hema Kandapal, and Dr. Lobsang Yangsula, who are experts on environmental issues, who will be taking part in the program this afternoon. Thank you very much, all of you. And we also have the three pillars of democracy, both serving and former members of the civil society, Tibetans inside and outside of Tibet. Kashak extends a very warm and heartfelt greetings to all of you. On this occasion, as we celebrate the 86th enthronement ceremony of His Holiness the Dalai Lama and also the Tibetan New Year, we also had this very sad news of the demise of Gyabje Ngari Rinpoche, who was a former member of parliament and the youngest brother of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, who expired several days ago. So there won't be major celebrations during the New Year, including today's program. In fact, we had planned some, but this was a change in the last minute. So as we celebrate today the historic event marking the 86th anniversary of His Holiness the Great 14th Dalai Lama's enthronement upon the golden throne at the Potala Palace, the Kashak extends its warmest greetings to Tibetans inside and outside Tibet and to all friends of Tibet. 86 years ago, on 17th July 1939, the young child, Lama Thunrup, together with his parents and retinue, departed from Kumbum Chambaling, the birthplace of Je Tsongkhapa, Tibet's preeminent scholar. This departure followed his recognition as the true reincarnation as His Holiness the Great 14th Dalai Lama after 3 years of meticulous search, investigation, and divine oracular decrees. On 8th October 1939, His Holiness arrived safely at the Nobulinga Palace at the nation's capital, Lhasa. The official enthronement ceremony, accession to the fearless lion-upholding throne, was held in the Sishi Pizo Hall within the Potala Palace on 22nd February 1940. This ushered in an auspicious destiny, fulfilling the immutable vow of the lotus bearer Avalokiteshvara to guide the people of the land of snow as his disciples until the end of aeons and to assume the sacred stewardship over the destiny of Tibet and its people. Although the entire world at that time was shrouded in the darkness of the Second World War and Tibet's political situation had fallen into a precarious state due to the Kuomintang government's invasion of territories in the Tibetan regions of Amdo and Kham, the true reincarnation as His Holiness the Great 14th Dalai Lama was recognized with unmistakable certainty and without any external interference. This was achieved through the convergence of visions beheld by Regent Reting Rinpoche in the sacred lake of Lama Lasso, the oracular pronouncements of Tibet's protecting deities, the potential candidates' unerring identification of the late Dalai Lama's personal effects, and the formal proclamation of his sublime signs at the full session of the Tibetan National Assembly. Today, as we commemorate this auspicious and extraordinary occasion of historic significance, we also honor His Holiness' lifelong commitment to and practice of compassion and nonviolence throughout the world. We also remember the profound wisdom of the Gandhe Podang officials and the Tibetan people of that era, who countered all internal and external obstacles and through the diligent fulfillment of their duties demonstrated Tibet's independent status to the international community. For Tibet, the enthronement ceremony held 86 years ago signified the enduring continuity of its sovereign authority through a unique system of governance rooted in sacred tradition and established by divine mandate. It was a solemn ceremony manifesting the connection of the iron hook of Avalokiteshvara's compassion with the ring of faith held by the deities and people of the land of snow. The Gandhe Podang government granted permission to representatives of the Chinese Kuomintang government, the British government, and the neighboring nations of Sikkim, Nepal, and Bhutan to pay obeisance and present tributes for the enthronement and receive them accordingly. The Communist government of the People's Republic of China persistently propagates the falsehood that the Kuomintang representative presided over the ceremony and that Regent Reting Rinpoche submitted a petition requesting exemption from the so-called Golden Urn lottery. Innumerable archived documents and successive scholarly works have not only debunked these false claims, but also brought the actual facts to light. 86 years is not merely a historical marker, but a magnificent chronicle of His Holiness the Great 14th Dalai Lama's practice and promotion of his four principal commitments: the promotion of human values, the fostering of religious harmony, the preservation of Tibetan culture and religion, and the revival of ancient Indian knowledge. Through his teachings and practice of compassion, His Holiness has demonstrated to the 21st century world that compassion and tolerance are not signs of weakness, but symbols of strength, a legacy recently recognized at the prestigious 68th Annual Grammy Awards on 1st February 2026. His Holiness, through his lifelong practice and teachings of compassion and wisdom, has bestowed boundless light upon human civilization and further elevated the Tibetan cause from a purely civilizational, political aspiration to the heights of universal pursuit of global peace, religious harmony, and environmental preservation. Under the extraordinary leadership of His Holiness the Great 14th Dalai Lama, and with the support from the international community, including from that of the government and the people of India, we have been able to preserve our language, religion, culture, and national identity. Today, all living Tibetans all over the world can proudly proclaim, "I am Tibetan." Inside Tibet, PRC government's relentless policies and practices to eradicate and sinicize Tibetan national identity have failed to break the resilient spirit of the Tibetan people and their determined resolve to cherish and preserve their distinct identity. All of these have been made possible due to the benevolent blessing, far-sighted vision, and ingenious leadership of His Holiness the Great 14th Dalai Lama, for which we continue to remain indebted with eternal gratitude. Finally, we offer our fervent prayers for His Holiness the Great 14th Dalai Lama of Tibet to live for aeons and for the spontaneous fulfillment of all his noble aspirations. May the day of reunion of Tibetans in Tibet and in exile dawn upon us soon. Thank you.
tu čia na